The Middle Ages versus you. A total bloodbath. Let's be honest for a second. You just spent 10 minutes having a full-blown mental breakdown because your favorite oat milk latte was sold out. Your biggest battle today was a slow Wi-Fi connection and a passive-aggressive email from your boss named Gary. We all love to imagine ourselves as the main character in a gorgeous fantasy epic, swinging a heavy broadsword, wearing a dramatic velvet cape, and looking suspiciously heroic while standing in the rain. But let's burst that bubble right now. The reality is that you are a creature of comfort, built for ergonomics and high-speed internet. Most of us wouldn't last until the first lunch break in the year 1300. Today, we're looking at why our modern, pampered, need-a-weighted blanket brains are completely incompatible with the sheer brutality of medieval life. First, the silence. It's terrifying. In 2026, we're constantly plugged in. Notifications, traffic, the low hum of a fridge, or the white noise machine that helps you sleep. But in the Middle Ages, the world was quiet. Eerily, bone-chillingly quiet. Unless you lived in a literal pigsty in London or Paris, you were surrounded by nothing but the sound of wind, bleating sheep, and your own terrifying existential dread. There was no background music for your life. No podcast to drown out the darkness, and no glowing screen to distract you from the fact that you're alone in a hut. For a generation raised on TikTok and 24/7 stimulation, the sheer psychological weight of that isolation would have you talking to a rock by noon. You'd be begging for a spam caller just to hear a human voice that isn't screaming about the plague. Second, the smell. Oh God, the smell. We live in a world of lavender-scented candles, deodorants, and fresh linen laundry pods. Now, picture this instead. Zero sewage systems, open gutters in the street, acting as a communal toilet for humans and horses alike. No showers, ever. You're lucky if you wash once a month in a wooden tub of lukewarm water that 4 of your family members already used before you. And then there are the tanneries. They made leather using buckets of stale urine and literal dog feces to soften the hides. This wasn't just a bad odor. It was a physical, thick, aggressive assault on your nostrils that you could probably taste. You'd be gagging and weeping for a bottle of Febreze before you even finished your first bowl of mystery stew. Third, the menu. And I use that term very lightly. Forget your macros, forget gluten-free, forget your DoorDash rewards. What's for dinner? Pottage. Again, it's a thick, bland grain porridge with whatever sad, dirt-covered vegetable was growing in the yard. Then there's the bread, often made with fillers like ground beans, pebbles, or even sawdust during a bad harvest. It was so hard you could probably use it as a weapon. And the drink? Ale. It wasn't for partying. It was actually safer than the local well water, which was basically a cocktail of bacteria. You'd spend your entire life mildly buzzed and chronically dehydrated. Oh, and if the rye gets a fungus called ergot, spelled E-R-G-O-T, you don't just get a stomachache, you get full-blown, terrifying hallucinations, and your limbs might literally turn black and fall off from gangrene. It's not exactly a 5-star dining experience. Fourth, the hustle. Modern hustle culture and your 5 a.m. morning routine have absolutely nothing on a medieval peasant. Your day starts the second the sun peaks over the horizon. There is no espresso. There is no checking emails in bed. You are swinging a heavy iron scythe, hauling freezing water from a well, or tilling rocky soil with wooden tools that weigh 40 pounds. There are no weekends, no bank holidays, and no HR department to complain to when your back feels like it's snapping in half. If you don't work every single waking hour, you simply do not eat. If the weather is slightly too dry or slightly too wet and the crops fail, you and everyone you know starves to death. It's a high-stakes survival game where the difficulty setting is permanently stuck on insane. Finally, the medical care. This is the best part of the nightmare. In the modern world, we get a tiny paper cut and reach for a band-aid and some Neosporin. In 1348, you get a scratch from a rusty nail, and your local doctor, who, by the way, is also the village barber and probably just finished cutting someone's hair, suggests bloodletting to balance your humors. He might also suggest you wear a necklace made of dried toads or apply a warm paste made of pigeon droppings to your forehead. Without modern antibiotics or basic hand washing, a simple toothache wasn't just an annoying trip to the dentist, it was a potential one-way ticket to a meeting with the Grim Reaper. You'd be praying for a Tylenol that won't exist for another 700 years.